Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they can have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you. I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
One more. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren, and I am so excited. I ain't trying to hide it. That's right. I'm going to let it out. That's right. Boy, let me tell you something. It's a great day. I have a phenomenal guest for y'all today. You're going to enjoy this one. Yeah, Mr. KADIN's backstage doing his thing. He's got some rhythm, and he was listening to some rap, getting his head right this morning. And he I could see him. He didn't know. Maybe he did. But he was getting it to the Bathrobe Moments theme song, Show Me Your Soul. So I was loving that. Listen, everybody, how's your day going? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. We're about to do something great together. And what could that be? That could be everything that is positive, everything that promotes healing and understanding in this world, simply because we talk together. Okay, that's all it takes in most cases to get anything done, is to just have a conversation. And that's what we're here to do. Listen, the bell of purpose is in full effect. There it is. I don't ring it on accident. That's why it's aptly named the bell of purpose. Why do I ring that bell? It's not a prop. It is not a gimmick. It's not any of those things. It's an opportunity, if you ask me. It's an opportunity because just like that bell has a ring to it, you guessed it, so does the truth. So I'm going to ring it. I know you're busy doing all kinds of stuff, and I don't want you to miss all this goodness that's here today. So that's what that is at this time. As always, help me welcome my sidekick. She's been here. This is our 8th full year together, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's here every morning. Yay, love me some Lucy. So I had my Raisin Bran already this morning. I had my protein shake there. There's nothing left to do but to get our guest in here. KADIN McElWAIN. Did I say it right? McElWAIN. I think I did. I love this guy. He's a student at Kent State University, and he is an advocate for autism. And anyway, a lot of stuff going on that campus there today. Kyle Rittenhouse is on the way there today to speak on gun rights and whatnot. And apparently it stirred up the bees hive, if you will, there on campus. We're going to hear a little bit about that, but we're really here to pour into Mr. KADIN and allow him to pour into us with his work. So guess what? Here's how you do it. You put some hearts on the screen. They're free, they're painless, and they're our digital way of saying, we're glad you're here. We get to our feet virtually by throwing some hearts on the screen. So hit them right now, because I hear them coming down the hallway. KADIN McElWAIN on the way. KADIN.
Thanks for having me, Dr. Harrison. You got to show me where you got that theme song.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah. I haven't heard good music like that in a while. Everything's all engineered and poppy these days.
It is. You sound like an old soul, KADIN. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 19 years old, about to be 20.
Now, so when's your birthday?
July 9th.
Oh my goodness. My birthday's July 4th. Yeah, I won't be 19, but I'll be a good number. 60. I'll be 62. Yeah, 62 on the 4th of July. So we're Cancers.
Yeah, no, 62 is definitely a great age.
Yeah, and it's also the year I was born. Oh, I just realized that. So, okay. So, KADIN, you are a student at Kent State, yes?
Yes, sir.
And what year are you in? And what are you studying there?
I'm a sophomore right now. I'm studying to be a PR major.
A PR, public relations?
Yes.
Okay, well, good for you. How long have you wanted to do that?
Well, it's a weird thing, actually. Initially, I was a technology major, but I found out that that wasn't something I was passionate about last semester because during that time I was stressed to the point of me breaking down every day. And one teacher, although I don't think he attended to, which was my math teacher, quite frankly, I feel like tried to sabotage me and wasn't as fair towards me as he should have been because he taught math that I didn't even learn in high school. Well, when it was supposed to be an algebra 2 class, which means a junior, sophomore year of high school math.
Oh.
So, last semester was rough, and I found out technology wasn't something I was passionate about.
Okay.
And something I've always been passionate about was music and politics. But to be big sauce in those, you got to be people like Trump or Madonna or something. So,
yeah. Oh, for Madonna. Okay.
Yeah. So I figured the next best thing for music was public relations and the business side of things.
Awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you, where did you go to high school?
I initially went to Siegel High School in Tennessee. Then COVID hit and everything was online, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you're originally from Tennessee.
I've been all over. I was born in New York, and then I lived in Arizona and Tennessee before settling in Ohio.
Okay, in Ohio. So
yeah.
So you moved to. You had some different schools over the years.
Yes, I did. And then I went back to in-person high school for my senior year for a little bit, but after a COVID exposure on my end, where I got no help, and an incident involving a trans student where the school just sat by and watched, I opted to be online for the rest of my grade school career, and I was able to graduate early.
Oh, congratulations. So can I ask you, at what age was your let's go into a little bit inside because you're an autism advocate. Okay. And I appreciate that. I told you when we had our first talk that I have a lot of friends that are on the spectrum and a few of my coaching clients, and a lot of them have been here, and we've done a lot of work here on television, the E360 network, to bring awareness, not just on Autism Week or day or month, but all year round, because this is an ongoing thing we're doing here. It should never just be one day or month. I agree with that. So let's talk about you. The one thing that I always like to establish out the gate when I have a guest that's on the spectrum is at what age, at what point were you diagnosed, and what type of autism were they or are they calling it?
I was diagnosed when I was 2 years old, and I was nonverbal until 7 years old. So I would say, based on where I'm at right now and my fascination with things, I'd say high functioning, like Asperger's, that kind of thing.
Our good friend Tucker. Shout out to Tucker Bearden, who has Asperger's. Yes, a Zig Ziglar's legacy speaker today. Good guy. Let me ask you this. So you said nonverbal till 7. So do you remember 5 and 6? Do you remember not talking at 5 and at 6?
I honestly don't. I mean, who does remember things at 5, 6 years old? But I think when you start remembering things is probably 8 years old.
Oh, I remember stuff at 5. I remember kindergarten. Are you kidding? Taking those naps on those towels. I remember that. And I remember story time and chocolate milk on Fridays and pizza day. I remember all that. I went to school. I went to kindergarten. When I went to kindergarten, way back in the dark ages, Caden, you went for half a day. I don't know if it's still like that. So you were either a morning kindergartner or an afternooner. And I was a morning kindergartner. So yeah, I remember. But let me ask, how many times did you switch schools between graduating from high school and starting school? Do you have any idea how many different schools you went to? Because you moved around.
I would say, not counting the traditional switches to middle and high school, for 3 main ones, during my life due to me moving all around.
So what I wanted to know, why I wanted to establish how many times you'd moved around, was how different do you feel the different schools? I'm sure you went to some where they were ready for someone like you, and then maybe you were in a school or a classroom where it seemed like they had never, like you came from a different planet. Talk a little bit about the diversity and the way, the understanding from different states from one state to the next. Anything on that one?
Yeah, New York was amazing. They had an IEP for me. They had me go to a summer program, that kind of thing. Arizona could have been better, but they were still good. One time I asked my teacher to change my grade a bit for me, and he obliged to that. So that was part of the reason of moving to Tennessee. Then Tennessee, they're down at the bottom of the IEP autism awareness barrel. My middle school actually cut off my services completely without my parents' consent.
Wow. Okay. So all these things, I must assume, you can verify here or not, led to the work you do today as far as advocacy.
Yeah, the Tennessee thing mainly because I'm pretty sure cutting off a student's services without parental consent is illegal. Well, that's what I heard from a couple of people who are teachers. But my advocacy work started with a class project during my freshman year of college at Lake Erie College.
Talk about that. What was the program? What was the project about?
The project was to think of a way to help the community and act on it. So my group and I decided to set up a GoFundMe for Autism Society of America. We ended up raising $1,085 for it, and we won a contest with it. But the problem was my group, which is typical of Gen Z, only wanted to do that project to get the grade and the $200 meal point prize we ended up getting for winning the contest. And I thought, if this problem is going to be addressed, I should lead the movement if no one else is going to, because this is a problem that's not taken seriously in the U.S. government. And I honestly don't get it. You would think by now in 2024, they would start prioritizing people with autism and special needs, the LGBTQ community, race, that kind of thing. But instead, they seek to ban drag shows or ban TikTok and do all this petty crap.
I see why you're going into the lane you're going into as far as work. I see it. So let's okay. So I find it interesting. You mentioned I love this fact that when you speak to your advocacy work for autism, you also talk about other struggles, the LGBTQ movement, race and societal issues. And so you're looking at better treatment for not just your particular situation, but the particular situation of a lot of under marginalized people.
Absolutely. And it's different for me since I'm also bisexual. Well, so I'm part of two marginalized groups in this way. I honestly believe that people should treat people with kindness because we're all alike in our own unique way, and we all want the same thing, which is peace, love, and positivity.
Absolutely right. I'm ringing the bell on that one, KADIN. So when you graduated high school, you were right there. You're right where all your peers are. You're not lagging behind at all. So how difficult is it for you? And I've got we're going to take a look at just a little, because I didn't understand where he was going, but I was hoping you could help me understand. I found a kid who's in college. He has a little YouTube thing he throws up about what it's like to be a kid in college with autism. And but I may not even show it because you're far more interesting. I'll say that. But let me ask you this: what would you say is your biggest challenge Because you live on campus, you live in the dorms, right?
Right.
Okay, so a lot of kids with on the spectrum, or a great portion, that's not possible for a number of reasons. What's it like for you? How do you love that independence?
I love it. I very much love it. Because it's my first time living as an adult. And I'd say my only quote unquote challenge is my roommate smoking Chiba and grass and vapes and everything else. And my dorm, I honestly don't even hang out there anymore unless it's to sleep or get clothes I need to start my day. I'm actually filming this in the lounge area that I've been hanging out in recently. I can concentrate better. No need to worry about weed smoke or tobacco smoke. And I have sweet acoustics in here. But other than my roommate, I very much love living independently.
That's awesome. And don't worry, I think all of us have had those roommates, right? Everybody. If you've had a roommate from hell, put it in the comments. Yes, I know I have. So that will pass. It makes you stronger. So if that's any sense of encouragement, take that one with you. I want to ask you this. So so you're in the teachers, your professors, how prepared are they to bring, what they do to not just, the usual student, but to the autistic student? Do you meet with them ahead of time and they understand that you're on the spectrum? And are you treated exactly like the other kids that are in that particular class? Or is there some extra things that come with it?
Well, I have accommodations from the Kent State University CAP Center. I get extended time on tests. Yeah, I think my professors understand that I'm on the autism spectrum, and they respect that. And I tell them, treat me the same way you treat everyone else, because I don't want to be treated any differently due to my struggle or X, Y, and Z thing.
Right, exactly. And that's very admirable. Good for you. That's the way to be. So what about this? Have you met, I'm sure you have, are there groups and things with kids that are there that are on the spectrum? Do many of you know each other, or does everybody kind of just do their own thing?
I'd say everyone kind of does their own thing, but I have met a couple of people with autism on campus. There's this one person I met named Micah, who I regularly meet with whenever I have a tutoring session. Me and them, I should say, we're pretty close. So, but yeah, I think everyone likes keeping to themselves on campus, and they have their priorities. I have mine.
Do kids still go to a lot of parties and drink a lot of beer in college?
Oh, yeah, they do. It's 10 times worse than back in your day.
I don't know about that. Really?
Oh, yeah, it is. Nowadays, we have Borgs, which are water mixed with alcohol on alcohol and a milk carton.
Okay, you're right. It is.
Yeah, I don't even attend those rats. I despise them. There's no need to drink. No need to smoke Chiba or grass or do drugs. These students are going into hundreds upon thousands of dollars in debt a year to come to university, only to throw it away with drink and drugs and sex.
Boy, you sound like you're a little temperance guy. Man, no wonder they have you there. They're like, you should be the Kent State poster guy. Well, I'm proud of you. Let me see. Hi, good morning, Lori Whitney. How's everybody doing out there? Nice to see you guys. So let's talk about your work. It hasn't been long, has it, Caden, that you've started coming out and speaking and going on shows? What prompted you to take it to a new level? Is it your newfound freedom in college, or just a need for people to understand more? What is it you think we need to? Well, let me just put it this way. What do you hope to accomplish through your advocacy work?
For my advocacy work, I'm hoping to accomplish urging the government to do their job and help people with autism, mandate
Oh,
IEP services for all people with special needs.
what is that? Tell people what that is. A lot of people don't know what that is when you say IEP services.
It's an individualized education plan fit to cater to anyone with special needs to help them be successful in the classroom.
And to be successful in what else?
In the classroom.
Oh, in the classroom. Okay. So what is your biggest challenge that you feel they need to change? You know, I'm sure you have a list.
The big one for me is not letting the schools cut off those services without parental consent. That's a really huge one for me.
So, yeah. So what do you mean when they say cut off the services? Like what? Tutoring, extra help, the extension? You said you get some extra time on tests?
Individualized education plan. Public schools shouldn't have that power to cut those off without parental consent. In fact, it's illegal. Oh, yeah. The people in power don't do anything about those schools. So my one big thing would be shutting down the schools that cut off individualized education plans permanently.
Just shut them down.
Yeah, absolutely. Cutting off services is illegal, and if they violate the law, they shouldn't be allowed.
Have you ever done any research, KADIN, on, say, I bet you have because you're an advocate. So let's say 20 years ago. How different is our world today for a person with autism as opposed to maybe 20 years ago? Have we moved the needle at all? Have we done, are we doing it at least a little bit of justice in your opinion, or no?
I believe we're doing it a little bit of justice. I really do. I think these days we're more inclusive and tolerant of each other, and we're slowly beginning to realize we're all alike. But the problem is there's still these hate groups and negative influences and all this negativity, and we're still not giving those with autism the opportunity to succeed.
I agree. Now, I mentioned a little bit about this at the top of the hour, but some people have come in that weren't here then, and it's a great time for us to segue into it. Now, you've got a little, I don't know how to put it. It's not an incident. What would you call it? You have let's say, put it this way. You got someone that's a little infamous coming to your campus today, right?
We do. Today, Kyle Rittenhouse is coming to speak to Kent State students about gun rights.
So Kyle Rittenhouse is coming there today to speak to your students, your constituents, your peers, on gun rights. And it stirred up a lot of stuff I hear over there at Kent State.
It absolutely did, especially with the history that this campus has with the May 4th shooting.
The May 4th of what year was that?
1970, I believe.
The Kent State, the big famous, the infamous, right. Back way before these shootings were a big deal. You know what I mean? That right back to the early days of mass shootings. So how's the temperature, if you could, or what's the pulse of the student body like? Is there a lot of rumors going around? Are people feeling this is going to be peaceful? What are you hearing on the streets, Kyle? I mean, KADIN, what are you hearing?
Yeah. Well, one thing I heard that's
I called you Kyle.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Mr. Rittenhouse. I'm sorry. And I know you're thinking, I thought Lauren liked me. I do. Sorry, man. So no. So what are you hearing? I bet you last night was pretty exciting around campus.
Oh, it was. We had a protest yesterday, a peaceful one. I got to speak at it a couple of times, and instead of necessarily bashing the campus and saying they don't do enough to keep people safe. I talked about the importance of kindness and respect and how people should never try to change who you are. Quite frankly, I just want this Rittenhouse thing to be put to bed. Because one rumor going around is that the Proud Boys might be on campus today. The scrawny, 40-year-old racist losers who live in their mom's basement. But that protest yesterday was actually beautiful to see. For the first time in my 20 years on this earth, I've seen unity in society. People realize that we're all alike and we all want to achieve a common goal. In this case, it's protesting Kyle Rittenhouse's 23-year-old murderer butt coming to campus.
Oh. Kyle Rittenhouse's 23-year-old murdering butt coming to campus. I hear you, Caden. Okay. So let me ask you, you know what? I didn't get to go to college. I wasn't able to do that. But I love hearing the stories, or when you see it in movies and stuff, when young people like yourself, and I imagine it happened all over yesterday and does all the time, but particularly in light of what's happening today with Kyle Rittenhouse coming to your campus. But when you guys sit around and you talk, like you and your good friends, about what matters in this world, you probably, I always refer to it as this, clean up on aisle 7. You guys are going to be cleaning up a bunch of shit that people like myself, the baby boomers and before and after, everybody that's lived before you, let's put it that way, has really created quite a mess for you young people to clean up. And every generation inherits some form of that from the preceding generation. But you guys have a lot. But let me ask you, how ready do you feel you are to take on the task of helping to shape this world and what you want it to be and how you'd like to see it should you have children one day?
Oh, I think I'm definitely ready. Because I'm a guy who's extremely stubborn. I don't give up on anything until I get the peace, love, and positivity or accomplishment that I want.
All right, then. And you meant that stuff. I'm telling you, Caden, that's awesome. I ought to make you say it all over again, but I can go back and watch the replay. That was some good shit right there. Seriously. So at what age did you start seeing this? I mean, because you're like a movement leader. You feel like somebody that could lead a movement to me. When did you start looking outside of your immediate needs and saying, I want to be of service to the world?
I'd say in high school, I was part of JROTC during my time at Siegel High School. I rose up to the rank of cadet second lieutenant before I went fully online. But I would say that my time in JROTC really taught me a lot about leadership and respect and how society should treat one another.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. So you said you spoke yesterday a couple times. How well received were your words of peace and togetherness? Did it seem like it was something that the audience was receptive to?
Absolutely. I got a really big standing ovation at that. And I was hyping everyone up during the chant. And and I have this energy to me during that.
That's awesome. You guys, this is just really powerful. I had asked Caden the other day, I was like, well, if you want to wear a sweatshirt or a t-shirt that has Skint State on it, feel free to do that. And you said to me, no, that's okay. I prefer when I'm on stage or when I'm giving interviews, I prefer to wear a tie and a nice shirt and suit sometimes. And so is this all a part of the PR, Caden? And let's talk about PR, okay? Let's talk about the PR around your campus today and stuff. News trucks, news facilities. You think you guys are going to make the news tonight with all that's going on there?
I think the protest might make the news tonight at 6, at least on the local station. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had the local news or national news there too, because some alumni have pulled their donations from campus because of this. That's how big this is.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
So whose decision was it to invite Kyle Rittenhouse?
It wasn't necessarily the campus. It was this organization called Turning Point USA, the student division at that. And unfortunately, Kent State can't do anything about it because of the First Amendment and then freedom of speech and all this.
Turn Point USA. I've never heard that. I have to look that up. So what are you going to go hear Kyle speak today?
Yeah, I'm going to be avoiding that area if it's true that the Proud Boys might be there. My parents even suggested that to me as well to just avoid it altogether.
Yeah,
just
avoid that area.
Yeah, just because of the Proud Boys. I mean, I playfully told him last night, I mean, maybe I could try to talk to the Proud Boys, tell them what they're doing is wrong, maybe make them cry with the most sin. And they were like, no, we don't want to see you get beat up or arrested. Maybe do a quick sweep out of curiosity, but after that, if things get crazy, get out of there.
That's what your parents were telling you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and your parents, they know what the deal is. I'd listen to my parents if I were you. But I do want to ask you this, KADIN. Let's talk about, this is your first time away from home when you went off to college. How difficult was it for your parents to let you go? Did they try to convince you to stay at home the first year, go to a community college, or did you go? You went to a different school and then you transferred, right?
Right. It was tough for them. It really was. But they were ready to see me spread my wings in the world because they knew that I was capable of so much more than what most people with autism do, which is get locked up in a mental person's home in a group home.
Yes.
I consider myself lucky. I truly do. There are a lot of people on the lower end of the spectrum who can't walk, can't talk, and they have to be taken care of for the rest of their lives. And it's quite frankly sad to see. It truly is.
It is sad to see. I agree. And that's even more. And that's another thing I love about you and your work. It's not just for someone who fits the mold of a KADIN, but just the mold of autism, period. Across, no pun intended, but completely across the spectrum. And I think that's great. So is this something, KADIN, that you think you'll do all your life? Too soon to tell? Or do you have some plans on how you want to see some change enacted? Maybe some policy. You said politics. Do you see yourself getting into the writing of policy or affecting the writing of policy perhaps one day?
Absolutely. Eventually, my goal is to try for the presidency or at least some form of political office. I think that this country needs the first autistic president in U.S. history. I feel like that would teach everyone.
I'm shocked there hasn't been one. Probably was. They just didn't know it.
Yeah, maybe. There were some rumors that Jefferson was on the spectrum.
Interesting. So we hear a lot about understanding the neurodivergent and how, a lot of us, it's not as easy as it sounds in some cases. Do you have any tips on what about this? When you meet new kids at school and they know it's like this, when a person meets an older person and they think just because they're a certain age, they got to yell. So how are you? And the older person's like, I'm fine. What's wrong with you? Why are you talking so loud? Oh, sorry. You know what I mean? So Really, I know it's true. People ask you some really stupid questions about autism. You know what I mean? Where they're like, so I don't know. I can't even come up with anything because I don't want to offend anybody, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. And it was worse for me than the simple question. There was actually a rumor going around in high school that I was faking my autism for some odd reason amongst my own cross country team, no less.
I saw that you were running. Okay. So they said, he's faking that autism, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, did that make you laugh or did it make you angry?
A little bit of both.
So how did you address it?
I didn't. I put it to bed, and the rumor just kind of dissolved. No one asked me about it. No one confronted me about it. And I actually found out this from my older sister, who was also going to the same high school as me around the time where everything was shut down and COVID was happening. And she was the one who brought that to my attention. So I can only assume that she told those people off.
Yes. I want to know, are you still running, doing any of that in college, or is that just a hobby now?
I haven't done sports in the longest time. I want to get back into it, but I haven't really had the time like I used to.
Oh, homework?
Coursework has been crazy for me.
How many hours are you carrying currently, Caden?
Like credit hours?
How many classes do you have?
I have 5 classes right now, all straight A's.
You have 5 classes?
Yeah.
And you have straight A's?
Yes, sir.
I know. You're probably going, why you look so shocked? But because I was, I had to study hard for, some people just seem like they just go to sleep and wake up with the answers. That wasn't me. I had to, for every A I got, I had to study probably 2 or 3 hours longer than the person with another person with an A. Seriously. What is it? You must be very disciplined, I would think.
Yeah, I absolutely am. I get it from my dad, actually. He has 3 master's degrees, and he was the one who really taught me to have a strong work ethic and not make excuses.
Wow. Your parents must be really proud of you, Caden.
Oh, they definitely are. In fact, my dad texted me just now that he found some internships for me because he believes in me that much.
That's awesome.
Here, let me respond to this so he doesn't eat my head off.
Tell him we said hello. Tell him I'm on TV right now, but everybody is saying hello, Dad.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Dad. I'll be sure to check this out today. I looked it up, and some of those guys make $17 an hour. And I'll call him later when I'm on my way to class after this.
Okay, so what class do you have? What's your favorite class right now?
Man, I have a media writing class that I have Mondays and Wednesdays that I really like.
Media writing?
Yes.
And what is that? What do you do in there?
We basically learn to write for newspapers and broadcasting and all the basics of writing.
Now, have you ever thought about, like, when you graduate, like doing the news?
I haven't thought about it. I was mainly hoping to work in PR in either music or politics.
That's right. You want to turn and introduce. I mean, you want to interview Trump and then turn and do Madonna at the same time. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I can see it. So, do you have plans of going further than a 4-year degree, or too soon to tell?
It's honestly too soon to tell, and unfortunately, college is expensive these days.
Oh yeah, college has always been expensive. Trust me.
Yeah.
Who's got student loans still? Because I didn't even go. I took some classes a lot. Like enough for an associate's, but that math. But I still got like $17,000 worth of school debt that I'm paying. Yes. Not that much anymore, but that's what it was. So I want to ask you this one, Kaden. And you knew it was coming. We know you don't go to the parties and stuff, this and the other, but a big part of college for a lot of kids is dating. So let's talk about the autistic college student and dating. What's that like?
It's tough. I don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend. I've had a couple of hookups, but that was about it. And I've been trying to meet up with one of them to try to become a couple, but that guy only wants, in his words, fun and hookups and making out and everything else. And I told my therapist when I told her this that I'm more than just a hookup. So I might see if he's interested in me, but if he isn't and just wants me for sex, then I will probably shun for my life and maybe even follow her urges, because I'm pretty sure that people with autism are technically incapable of giving consent, right?
Oh my goodness, I ain't going there. So whoever that is, you better be nice to Kaden or But I'm just curious though, when people meet, how does it go, Kaden? You meet people, they still have student unions, I'm assuming.
Yes, they do.
Where kids hang out and eat and this and the other and study. So when you have friends that are not, on the spectrum, of course. Do they introduce you as just Kaden, or do they say, this is our friend Kaden, he's on the spectrum? Because I've heard that people will do that. And I'm like, no, they don't. And my friends that are on the spectrum say, yes, they do. What's your experience? What do you say about that?
They just introduced me as, this is Kaden. They don't even mention the autism thing because they know that's none of their business. That's not relevant to introducing someone to a friend or a relative.
So what do you say when you can see on the person's face they're trying to figure out what's going on with Kaden? Do you cut them some slack, take them off the hook, if you will, and say, listen, I know what you're wondering. Let me explain. I'm Kaden, and because we're trying to understand how we should appropriately act when we don't know. Say, for instance, you come up with a crowd of people, everybody's going around, and I notice there's something different about this guy, the one named Kaden, but I don't know how to ask, but you may see it on my face, because that's an innocent thing. Not everybody is looking and going, what the hell? No, some people are looking going, I wish I knew. I'm trying to understand. So how much of the responsibility lies on me, the person wanting to know, and you, the person who does know? How do we get together so that we both understand each other a little better? What do you say to that?
I'd say it's 50-50. I think everyone has a responsibility to treat each other with kindness and respect. I really do. The problem with society these days is we are so divided that all we know is fight, discriminate, hatred. If we all realize that we're all alike and we all want the same thing, then we could come together and fight off a common enemy. I truly believe that.
And fight off a common enemy. Man, Kaden. Man, you hit it right there. You really did. Do you ever think about speaking, like actually keynote speaking, public speaking on the subject of awareness for the autistic realm, or other things, political things, musical things? Do you see yourself hitting those stages one day, Kaden?
I have spoken at a couple of city council meetings, but if we're talking in the sense of a TED Talk or a lecture, then I definitely see myself eventually doing at least a TED Talk. I think
I
that
was
would
going
be
to say that
amazing on
too.
a resume.
At least I can definitely see you doing a TED Talk. And I mean, like, soon. Like I can see you. I'm not saying at 30 or 40. The guy I'm looking at now, I can see you, KADIN McELWAIN, doing a TED Talk. I can see it. Now, you know why it's so important when someone says they can see it? That's not just somebody blowing smoke, KADIN. It means that whatever you are putting out, I'm picking up. Something in your content is resonating somewhere within my spirit, and I can see it, literally see it. And when you can make the world see your vision, why do you think I asked that line of questioning? Because I could see it already. You see, I wasn't grasping for straws. We haven't had any dead or down time. Interviewing you is not like some people, trust me, where it's literally pulling teeth to get down an hour of entertainment and edutainment. No, it's not the case. So I'm just saying to you, I literally can see you doing that kind of work. I can definitely do it. Definitely see it. How about you guys out there? Can you see KADIN doing that? Put it in the comments. Now, let's talk about how we can. Do you have any resources? This is another thing. Whenever I've done a special on autism, I would go in and just because, and I'm not going to, well, there's one of them. I remember I used it and all the people on the spectrum were like, absolutely not. Take that website down. Speaks. Yes. Yeah. I put Autism Speaks up and I thought if they could throw bricks through the screen, my room would have been full of bricks because they were like ready to angry mob my ass. Talk about how people get to legitimate and places of education about autism that you and the autism advocates feel is credible, because I did not know that this was going on. Talk about that whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say Autism Society of America is a much better organization than Autism Speaks. They focus.
And what's the difference between those two, in your opinion?
Well, of course, Autism Speaks has the puzzle piece, meaning that the person with autism is broken and has a puzzle piece missing too. Therefore, they should be cured. But Autism Society of America, they don't see the negatives of autism and wanting a cure. They see hoping those people will get the resources they need, the therapies, the friend groups, that kind of thing.
Right. So that's a pretty common thing. Every time you bring up Autism Speaks, they'll be like, "What'd you call me?" I was like, "I didn't say no." Stay right there. You know, they start. And I'm like, "What I do?" Autism Speaks is what you did. I bet it won't happen again. I'm serious. Tell us what do we got? We got about 3 more minutes. I'm going to put your stuff on the screen. This says the sports, I think it stands for column.com. Yep. You're an author. Tell us about that. What are we going to find when we hit that that link?
You'll find over 400 articles talking mainly about sports, positivity, and overall doing the proper thing.
Who wrote all these?
I wrote them myself.
400 and some?
Yeah, I started when I was 14 years old.
Wow. Okay. And everybody, I'm going to drop both of these links. There's another one headed your way. Instagram is here now. What are we going to find when we go over there?
You'll find a bunch of memes and content I've created. I mainly tried to separate the advocacy work from the content creation, but everyone's using Instagram these days, so I figured I'd include that in there too.
Listen, you guys, I am so proud of you, KADIN. Straight A student, Kent State University. Got to go out and skirt. Don't forget what your parents said today, that Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. Go over and check it out and then get your ass out of there and go on and watch from a safe space just in case. We're not wishing anything or hoping for anything untoward, but we are praying for a peaceful, whatever, presentation, rally, protest, whatever ends up being the reality of the day. But just stay safe, okay?
I will. Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Yeah, of course. Now listen to me. I want to put it out there. When the autism holidays and things start coming up, the awareness times, I want you to reach out to me so we can put some stuff together. And I can put you with some of the other people. We're always doing some kind of a special or something like that. And I want you to be a part of the very next one. Would you at least consider that, Caden?
Absolutely, sir. I'll definitely get in touch with you.
Okay. I love it. And I love the work you're doing. I think you're a brilliant guy, a great kid, and just a real good example of what we can look forward to as a positive person in the future of this country. And I love what you stand for, and keep standing, because I'm standing right beside you. Okay.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you guys, I want to thank all of you out there. Remember to get out today and find just a small piece of your highest self. Take that with you. Remember that when you wake up today, it's a brand new opportunity. When you go to sleep tonight, look over your shoulder to the day you've just lived. And I'm certain you will find that you took nice to nicer. You took strong to stronger. You took bold to bolder, and kind to kinder. That's all you have to do to live a purpose-driven life. I promise you that. I'm Dr. Lauren, and I just want to say I wouldn't want to do this without you. So how about tomorrow morning? It is our biggest show of the month. That's right. The experts are back in the house tomorrow. Should be a full house. You'll find out when you join me over there on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central, where together we'll have yet another illuminated conversation. Now get out there, find your highest self, ease some suffering in the world, and remember, as always, in parting, I tell you how much I love you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Caden. Great job, my man. Great job.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.